Hey, it's Chris Aiken from the Classic Metal Show. Most people know me as the foul-mouthed shock jock from the Classic Metal Show, or the no-nonsense heavy metal critic from pitriff.com. Now you get to learn the other side. My first book, Little Victories, A Tale of Divorce, Debauchery, and Finding Happiness, comes out on January 13th in paperback and digital formats on Amazon and iTunes. It details my real-world emotional struggles over a year that included a divorce after a quarter-century of marriage and the death of my father. It profiles things I did right, as well as a bevy of things that I did wrong with the help of alcohol, and how I found my way out of the muck of the emotional state that almost saw me commit suicide. Pre-order your copy of Little Victories, A Tale of Divorce, Debauchery, and Finding Happiness today at www.chrisaikenbooks.com and get in touch with the more fallible side of me, Chris Aiken. Sounds happy, huh?
All right, well, dude, this week, and I know you're probably sick of this by now. I know you've said it before, but you did a book reading / personal appearance, and you did this thing called what is it called? Visual Books or
Visible Voice Books was the name of the bookstore.
Okay, Visible Voice Books, and how many people showed up for this?
I don't know, 15, 20, something like that.
Was it really that full? Because I couldn't tell from the recording. You put the recording out there.
Yeah, it was just on a table. I just threw it. Maybe 10, 15. I don't know. It wasn't like a bunch of people.
Yeah, but you said it was just a little place, though.
Yeah, it was a tiny room. They had maybe 20 chairs, maybe, and it was half filled, I guess.
So did you do the full 2 hours?
Pretty much. We started a little bit late and we ended like at about 5 and 9.
Okay.
So, we started a little bit late because really at 7 o'clock there was no one in the room. There was me, the Warlock Matt, and my girl Kelly, and that's it.
Okay. And so people started filing in then when around 8?
No, about 7 o'clock.
Okay. And then
we started about 7:15, 7:20.
All right. And so now the only thing that comes to mind when you talk about doing a personal appearance, book signing, meet and greet is always the Spinal Tap moment when what's that Schaefer's guy's name from David Letterman?
Oh, Paul Schaefer.
Paul Schaefer does that character in the Spinal Tap movie. What's his name? Something Pumpkin or something like that.
Oh, something Pumpkin.
Pumpkin.
Yeah.
And he was doing the meet and greet for Spinal Tap, and nobody showed up.
Right.
And he's just like, kick me in the ass. Just kick me in the ass. This is all my fault,
But you definitely have that worry. And for me, because I had the chick that I've been seeing, with me, I really had that moment where I was like, oh, I am going to look like such a fucking douche.
Nobody's showing up.
Like, oh, what a fucking dick.
Now you did mention that perhaps your mother might come. Did she come out?
No, she blew me off. So did my brother.
Nice support from the family.
My mom was sick, and my brother actually called me in the middle of the afternoon. Was like, I got a bunch of shit to do, but if you want to come, I'll still come.
Sure.
And I was like, dude, really, it's not a big deal.
Yeah, I gotcha.
So
who from the CMS came out aside from Bartek?
I think just Bartek.
Bartek came out.
Bartek was the only CMSer that was an exclusive CMSer, and he came out representing, wearing his CMS shirt.
Nice,
ready to go. He actually was one of the few that took a picture with me at the end of it. So,
right.
And it was good.
Now, were there any strangers in the room?
I knew there was 2 that I really didn't know well. I had met once or twice, but I did not know them. 2 girls.
Okay.
I didn't know them at all. But other than that, I knew everybody else in the room.
Sure. Hail and Kill Caller, you're on the air.
I have to ask this question. Since Chris is on his way to becoming the Tony Robbins of our generation, did you or did you not get some action after this? Because she went, oh, That's my man. That's my man over there pouring his heart out. Oh, baby.
So did your book reading act as an aphrodisiac?
No, I did not get any action.
Okay.
Didn't actually try to. We went to the bar instead and closed the bar.
Sure.
And we were far, so then we had to drive back. So, we were all the way out in Tremont, which is like almost an hour from my house.
Right,
so.
right.
So we were driving till almost 2 a.m. So,
nice.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, so you did this book reading / storytelling question and answer session. The entire thing is available over at the Spreaker.com/CMS Rocks. And I personally listened to it twice.
Wow.
And I rather enjoyed it. I mean, obviously I've known you for many years and you do the show every week with me, but just sitting back and listening to it just for fun. It was a good listen, and the recording was good, which again always goes back to something you and I have always keyed in on. It's like, it's amazing to me that you can throw an iPhone on a table,
yeah,
and it'll record better than most of these dummies out there who try to do a podcast and sounds like shit.
And literally, that's what I did. I threw an iPhone on a table
with the Spreaker.
And I just hit record, and that was it. That was all I did. I didn't even sound check it.
How much does that Spreaker Studio app rule?
It's great.
That little recording app is like a whole studio full of equipment, all in your iPhone.
And we could actually, if we wanted to, we could actually upload songs. We could literally do the CMS completely remote if we wanted to. I don't know if you've seen that feature.
I haven't really explored it that much. I've played around with it a little bit, but the whole mixing board and the queuing of songs, and it kind of reminds me of that thing that came out, and I know I mentioned this, a while back. That thing that we had, I never used it, but I played around with it a little bit, called the T Player.
Oh, yeah, the T Player, sure.
That's what it reminds me of.
Dude, it's like Sam's.
Yeah, it is.
Down to it, it's just like the Sam's Player.
It is, and it's free.
And it's free, and it's easy to use. I mean, all you got to do is pre-think what you're going to play, and then you're good.
Yeah, that Sam's is $3 1/4, and the Spreaker's free.
Yeah, and we could literally do everything we do with Sam's on Spreaker.
Right. So you get there, and like you said, you were kind of nervous that shit, nobody's going to show up to this thing.
Sure.
And then 10, 12 people show up, and I bet you're just like, oh, hey, I'm among friends now.
And that was really what it was. But even when it started, I was definitely nervous. And I don't know why. I was nervous. Believe it or not, I was nervous pretty much all week. As dumb as this is going to sound, and this is the laugh out loud moment, I really thought I was going to have trouble filling the time. I don't know why. I just thought, oh my God, I got to talk an hour about the book, and it's going to be difficult. And how am I going to do this? And, what am I going to talk about? What if I run out of shit to say? Am I going to just make, dude, I just ran it through my mind way too much.
Sure.
And I was definitely worried about it going in. I was definitely nervous.
Well, and I would be too, because you want the thing to be a success, and you don't want to feel like a failure or a flop or whatever. And, I saw your little post out there on the CMS Facebook over there at CMS or Facebook.com/the CMS. And
yeah,
I love our fans who pay attention.
Yeah,
because some of the comments over there after you announced your appearance from our fans are just really funny.
Right.
Rob, I think that's Rob Eng. E-N-G. He said, question and answer. So, what's it like writing a book and doing a signing? What's it like?
That's funny.
Our fans just key in on that.
Sure.
And you know what? And when I read that and I laughed about it, I just thought, and again, I'm not trying to pat ourselves on the back.
Yeah.
For those who listen to the Classic Metal Show and our fans and whatever, we have made our fans more aware of what's good and bad out there.
We've tried to. I mean, that's what we try to do, really.
So people key in on the whole what's it like thing.
Sure.
And then, of course, people were asking, put it on Spreaker or on YouTube, which obviously you did.
Yeah, sure.
And then Howard Tate, I liked his comment. May the fucky effect be with you. The fucky effect.
I didn't see any of this. I must have missed this one.
I loved it.
It's hilarious.
And then, you know, people were saying you should do a podcast segment for the people who are out of state and can't be there and so on and so forth, which you did.
We did.
And it's out there on the Spreaker, so go over to Spreaker.com/CMSRocks, and you can listen. I can't
exactly announce that I'm going to podcast it when I'm trying to get people out.
Yeah, I know. Then they won't come.
Right, exactly. Then I'll just fucking listen to it tomorrow.
Yeah, sure, but you should go out. If I was close enough, I would have been there.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure. I mean, it was fine. I mean, I knew who was going to be there and who was not. More to the point, who was not going to be there early on. So, and it was fine.
Sure.
I didn't care. Dude, I honestly didn't want to be the only one there. But even if I was doing it anyway because I needed the video.
Right.
So for me, it was an exercise in doing it in practice, and thankfully there were people there that, you know, came out. And the thing that really, I don't know if impressed is the right word, but really kind of made me feel good was that everybody was really engaged. You know, I was looking out at the people, you know, I didn't just stare at notes or stare at whatever, you know, I looked at everybody and kept making eye contact with people and whatnot and looking around. And the thing that I was really impressed with was that I could tell people were really listening to what I was saying. And then the questions that came back were definitely questions that proved that they were engaged in the stuff I was saying. You know what I mean?
Right. Hail and kill, caller. You're on the air.
Okay, I'm going to say this once. It's not a butt-kissing segment. But you guys really have to start to realise, the both of you, how awesome you guys really are. Right? Because, you know, what Chris has done by overcoming what he's overcome is pretty damn freaking awesome. And there's not a lot of guys out there like the Classic Metal Show, you know. And you guys have talked about not charging for this in the past and all that kind of stuff. I think you should consider it, because if Talking Metal call themselves the metal experts, you know, they're about as expert as, you know, as I am on water sports. You know, it's you guys just rock, man. And you know, I'm very proud of the both of you, and I love listening to this damn show. So you do need to pat yourselves on the back, because you really are the best around.
Well, thank you, Tim. That's high praise. Look at him.
He's out.
Just bang. I'm out.
Did he say that we should charge? Is that what he said?
I think he said something like that, but that'll never happen.
No, we're now at most. And look, I'll tell everybody this now. We are considering possibly selling the advertising space for a minute ad before and after on each of the podcasts. Considering that, and I don't even know if I want to do that. And I'm considering. Well, I'll put it another way. I've been considering it. I don't know if you. I don't think I've even talked to you about it.
Yeah, that would be nice if you'd talk to me about it, since it is my show and everything.
Well, before I would incorporate it, I would definitely talk to you about it. But I've been trying to more think about it as far as how the technical would work.
Yeah, well, why don't you be like your ex-friend Chef Scott and just pocket all
Chef
the money?
Bill. Chef Bill.
And just
of course I'm going to pocket all the money.
And just pocket the money and don't tell me about it.
Dude, we didn't make $23,000. We made nothing.
Right.
We lost money.
Right. As a matter of fact, here's a bill.
Yeah, here you go, Neeley. You owe me $400.
Right.
Labor.
Right.
But no, as far as charging the fans for the podcast or whatever, we're not doing that. That's not what we're about. We're not. This is not a business. It's not intended to be a business. It's never going to be intended to be a business. If it, truthfully, and I say this in all honesty, and Neeley, you can back it up or disagree or whatever. The minute either one of us ever wants it truly to become a business is the day I'm quitting.
Dude, I've done this for 20 years for free.
Yeah. And you have no intention of making it a business.
No, I've sunk literally thousands and thousands of dollars over the last 20 years into the show and not recouped a dime.
Oh, and do we sell stuff every once in a while? Yeah, we sell some shirts here and there, which are basically you give away.
For the most part.
You give them, at best, you break even on the shirts when we're at events. At best. Because you give them away for nothing. And then you load everybody up with 15 fucking CDs and bumper stickers and everything else. So, we're not trying to make money out of this thing, really. It's just everybody has a passion, and I think this is just a mutual passion that you and I both have, and we're good at it.
Right.
I'll say it, Tim. If you're thinking that we don't think we're good at it, we're definitely good at it.
We're better than most people out there, and I know that as a fact, but I don't sit there and wave the flag around. Look at me! Look at me!
Yeah, there's no... The thought of selling this show is just appalling to me, man, because it would take away from what it is. And I honestly believe that. I believe that if we really started trying to make money with the show, then we would take away from it, because we would... I'll tell you now, I love making money. I love to make money. And in my real world, in my real life, man, I'll charge for anything. Somebody calls me up and wants me to change a fucking period on a website, they're paying me $37.50. That's the way it works. But this isn't that. This isn't my job. This is something I do just for the fuck of it. And It's because I love it, and, and it's fun, and it's great that people listen. But the real reality is it gives me 6 hours to hang with one of my buddies.
Sure.
And that's the truth.
Right. And you got to enjoy the feedback you get when even your closest friends go, dude, I listened to this show. Really?
I know. I love that.
It's like, dude, really?
I love it. And I love it. Makes me, what's even more fun to me is when you tell me stuff and it's like your friends are like, who is that fucking asshole that you're doing?
Right.
I love that shit.
Well, you know a little bit about my unfortunate work-related life.
Yes.
And I say some pretty wacky shit to my boss.
Right.
And one of the girls that work in the office, she said to him, how do you put up with him? And he said, get this,
yeah,
he's a radio jockey. He can get away with that. I'm a radio jockey.
Coming from a camel jockey, that's good.
A radio jockey. That's what he told her.
That's hilarious.
He's a radio jockey.
So what, he's afraid of you? He's afraid you'll ruin his business?
I don't know what it is. I just think it's funny.
It is funny.
But that was his answer, that because I'm a quote-unquote radio jockey, I can get away with it.
Oh, well, that's good. Good to know.
Yeah, I got carte blanche.
I need to go work for that guy.
No, you don't.
Be underpaid. Then I could be underpaid, but I could get away with a lot of shit.
Sure. All right. Well, getting back to your appearance.
Yeah.
You had Matt, who, sung your praises more or less at the beginning of the podcast.
He really did, man. I was like surprised because Matt and I did not talk. I mean, we talked on Tuesday, but really the talk was just kind of what I wanted to cover. What I wanted to cover I had a little bit of a plan, and we talked about what I wanted to cover, but I had no idea that he was going to do that intro or anything. I just thought he was going to say, hey, I'm Matt from the Metal Show.
Did he write that out?
Yeah, it was written out.
Oh, yeah, that's what I thought. He wrote it all out, and he put all your credits in there and everything.
Yeah. It was impressive. I was like listening to it. I was like, God damn, I've done a lot of shit.
Sure.
I didn't realize I'd done so much stuff. But, yeah, he had it written out, and it was really nice, and it was, kind of, touching more or less that, he cared enough to know all that shit and put it together and say a lot of nice things, so it was cool.
Excellent. So then, what I found kind of funny is that, you more or less wrote the book, and then you put the book away, and, you had made the proclamation or the claim that you haven't really had any contact with the book as far as reading it is concerned, or even, going through it.
Yeah.
So reading that first chapter for you were stumbling around a little bit because it was like almost unfamiliar territory to you.
It really was. I did struggle with it a little bit, and that was an honest-to-God true statement. The last time I read anything in it was like in July maybe, or maybe August. I don't remember when exactly, but it's been a long time. It's kind of, I know for a lot of people they like the book and they think it's good and blah, blah, blah. But for me, it's a period of life that, I want to put behind me. So I don't go and keep it,
keep
read
it fresh.
From,
yeah, you don't relive it and keep picking the wound or anything. You just It's a work. You've done it. You put it away, and now it's move on to the next thing.
Exactly. So for me, I honestly had not, and that chapter that I wrote back in June of 2012.
So it's almost 2 years old.
Yeah, it's a really long time since I read that.
Right.
And I was like, wow. I'm reading it and it felt like it was the first time for me.
Nice. So overall, and not to rehash everything that you did the other day, but hang on a minute. Hail and Kill caller, you're on the air.
Are you doing an audio book, Chris?
There's a lot of talk about it. A lot of people want me to. I don't know yet,
Yeah,
Tim.
I think you should. I think it'd be very cool.
I think you should do the narration, Tim.
I could do it, man. There's a lot of people that think I can speak pretty well, actually.
Yeah, they're lying to you.
Yeah, that's the Australian Chris Aiken speaking.
All right, hail and kill.
I don't know. You know what? I've thought about it, but man, oh man, that is a shit ton of work.
Yeah, you could get maybe you could get who's like one of the biggest voice guys out there. That what's his name? He does a lot of the voiceover stuff. Black guy.
Well, that guy, I don't know. Kiefer Sutherland, he does a lot of reads.
Yeah, no. The guy, older guy. Can't think of his name.
Morgan Freeman?
That's him. Get him to do it.
First of all, if I do an audiobook, it's definitely me reading it. There's no question in anybody's mind. It's me reading it.
Sure.
But because I would want to do bonus content too. So, I don't know. Let me get through the iTunes version first. That's going to have all kinds of video and shit in it. And then once we get done with the iTunes, then I'll see if there's need for the next thing.
Sure. So did you say you had major PR working this for you?
I do, yeah.
And what have they done for you, literally?
They've gotten me quite a few interviews and a lot of attention, and they do press releases every couple of weeks.
And what do they get out of this?
Michael's a friend of mine. He's doing it completely as a favor for me.
Okay, that's fair enough. I just didn't know if there was a deal there at all, or if, it was just because you're pals over the years, or what.
We're buddies. I asked him. He said yes. I did tell him that in the future, because he has some other projects he's working on that I told him that are in my wheelhouse professionally, that I can do him some solids as well. So, I mean, eventually I'll pay back the favor. Let's put it that way. It's not like it's completely free, but there's no commitment on any level from either of us. We're friends, and he's got a big Rolodex. So,
all right. Well, if you had somebody do do the audio version of your book, would you do Morgan Freeman or James Earl Jones?
Morgan.
Okay.
James Earl Jones, he's a little breathy for me.
Right. That'd be great, though.
Hi, I'm Morgan Freeman.
Right.
Chris Aiken.
Well, speaking of Morgan Freeman.
Yeah.
And this is off topic here. A couple of weeks ago, I went to see the Lego Movie.
Really?
Yes.
Why?
Well, I was invited.
Okay.
I was invited to go. Very funny movie.
Really?
I think you'd actually enjoy it.
No kidding.
Yep. A lot of adult humor in there. A lot of references that kids would never get in a million years.
Oh, nice. I like that.
And it was funny. And Morgan Freeman was one of the main characters in the movie. It was pretty funny.
Okay. I would never think to even think about going to see that, but okay.
It was pretty good. And Explain Me Guy.
Yeah.
In The Office, there was a song that was in the movie called Everything Is Awesome.
Okay.
So every day he took his kid to go see it.
Okay.
And every day it's Everything Is Awesome. He's singing this song, Everything Is Awesome. So, but I know it sounds stupid, but the Lego Movie actually pretty funny.
No kidding.
Yep. Worth seeing, even if you took your chick. And you would definitely score on that one.
Oh, really?
Oh, Chris, I didn't know you were so sensitive.
Well, if it puts my cock in a mouth, I'm there.
Nice. All right. Well, anything I haven't touched on your appearance?
No, I mean, look, the bottom line is people can listen to it for themselves. It was for people that like to listen to me ramble. they can certainly hear a lot of stories that I've never told on the show. I don't think. I mean, you listened to it twice. There was quite a few stories I had never told on the air,
people
right?
people did jump in and they did ask about your history of, how did you get into radio to begin with, and how did you get into writing, and how did you do this, and how did you do that? And a lot of how did you?
Yeah, there was.
And people, I don't know if they glean anything from that, like, oh, well, is that all it took? I've been thinking I should get into doing this or that, but I don't know where to start. And that's what I took away from that, I just started doing it.
Well, and that was really what it was.
Uh-huh.
Especially like the writing thing, where I was asked how I got into it. And I got into it by writing hate letters.
Right.
To, letters to the editor. And then they challenged me to do it. And I was like, all right, fuck yeah.
Sure.
Send me some shit, I'll do it.
Sure.
And that was how it went.
Now let me ask you a personal question, because I don't know how you'll react to this, but we're in March now.
Yeah.
3 months from now will be the 2-year anniversary of the quote unquote the announcement of the divorce.
Yeah.
How will you react now 2 years later? Or do you know, or is it like, okay,
emotionally? Or?
Yeah, emotionally, mentally, however.
Probably be fine. I can't imagine that I'll be upset. I mean, I'm in a good place now, and I'm in a good place with her now. I mean, that's the key really for me, was that, as much of a pussy as it makes me sound, I just didn't want to be fucking her enemy. No matter what, I did not want to be her enemy.
Sure. And how do you view her being married again now?
You know what? I'm happy for her because she's happy. And, and I know we're getting into fucking fag mode, but, my reality is the same as the day I married her, man. I wanted her to be happy. I wanted her to be happy in life. I wish it could have been me that made her that way, but it couldn't.
Sure.
And you know what? That's fine. But she's happy now, and that's good. And, me and her get along really pretty good. So I'm good with that too. And I'm happy for the first time in fucking forever.
Right.
And it's not just me saying it. I mean, I am legitimately happy every single day.
Sure.
I'll take this. I'll take where it is.
Look at Demon.
What'd she say?
Chris will react by coming in another woman's ass.
That would be a nice way to celebrate it, Demon. Why?
Wow.
That would be a nice way to celebrate.
Wow. Why didn't you go to the signing, Demon? You were an hour away.
Yeah.
She could have come out.
She can come out to either of the other two.
Oh, well, yeah, now that you mentioned that, where are the other two?
I have one on April the 19th at Anthony's Salon in Twinsburg.
Now, is that the one where they got the chicks cutting the hair and serving a drink?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, isn't that odd to do a reading signing in a haircut salon?
It is, but it was something I wanted to do, and my friend Anthony, who runs the place, is a really cool guy, and he asked me if I would. So I chose to do it there. It's just, I don't care where. It's just one of those things that it's on a Saturday. It's from 4 to 6 p.m. And it's going to be me. It's actually not only a book signing for me. It's going to be me, Matt, and my friend Joe Cleon, the photographer that takes photos for Plain Dealer and Scene and whatnot.
Right.
And we're going to do a kind of a unique roundtable type of a thing. And we're just going to talk. It's going to be more music talk than my book. I mean, we're all going to plug our various projects and whatnot, but it's going to be talking about, how do you get into the business? How do you succeed in the business? How do you do stuff like that? So it should be fun. It'll be something different that we're trying to do.
Right.
So again, that one is it's Anthony's Salon in Twinsburg, Ohio, on April the 19th from 4 to 6. And then on Saturday, June the 21st, between 10 a.m. and 1 p.m., I will be at the Hiram College Book Festival. And I've been asked to do a little speech. So I'm going to do like a 15-minute speech, and then I'll be there to do some reading, in some other section of the college, I guess. I don't know how this all works yet, but I'm going to do some reading. I'm going to do some signings of some books, and then there's like, it's not a keynote necessarily, but it is kind of like a keynote thing. They're going to have 4 or 5 authors, local authors, that are going to speak throughout the day, and I am one of them.
Nice. Hail and Kill Caller, you're on the air.
Are the chicks hot that work at this salon so that Chris could be considered a new age sensitive guy? Hail and Kill.
The chicks are definitely hot that work there.
Well, let me tell you my story of a salon that sort of did the same thing.
Yeah.
Back in 1994, 1994,
yeah,
the girl that I was with at the time, she and I went to Las Vegas.
Sure.
And that was sort of the new craze out there, was having these salons that were staffed by hot chicks that wore lingerie, and they cut your hair and served you a drink.
Oh, I like that.
And so I said to her, I want to go try that.
Okay.
That was the end of the vacation right there. That was it.
That's hilarious.
That was like running into a brick wall. Don't ever mention that to your chick, that you're going to go to a salon where the chicks dress in lingerie and serve you a drink and cut your hair. That's the end of it right there.
Nice. Well, this place, they don't really wear lingerie. I mean, they dress normal.
Well, this one wore lingerie. I didn't go in, but that's what they advertised, that the chicks, the stylist, as it were,
right,
wore lingerie, served you a drink, and cut your hair.
That's funny.
And that was the end of the vacation right there. The rest of the time was just like all angry.
Nice.
I didn't go, but just because I mentioned it, that was it.
Well, that's the way of a chick, isn't it? Well, you thought about it. You thought about fucking those chicks.
I just wanted to go to check out the experience, but that wasn't no way that's happening.
You wanted to put your cock up in her and have her riding you while she was cutting your hair. That's what you wanted.
So, needless to say, that was a harsh lesson to learn.
And how much longer were you still with that chick?
An
hour?
No, it was maybe about a year, about 1 more year.
Oh, so it really didn't impact.
No, but it kind of ruined the vacation.
Right.
Because it was just supposed to be fun, and I just thought, okay, we're in Vegas, anything goes in Vegas, let's go have some fun, And so I said, hey, I want to go check out that salon, and that was the end of it.
That's hilarious.
Why? Why do you want to do that? So, because it's different. And
what does she have that I don't have?
Oh.
I'll wear lingerie for you.
Oh, my God. So that was the end of that.
Don't I look as good as she does?
Well, actually, she was a beautiful girl.
Not in her eyes.
Oh, boy.
Because if she was that jealous, then she didn't believe she was hot.
Yeah. Well, the thing is she was a very attractive woman, and I bought her stuff, and she would never wear it.
But she didn't believe she was hot, right?
Apparently not.
Well, I mean, when you would tell her that she was hot, did she always try and blow it off? No, I'm not.
Yeah, I know.
Fucking chicks.
I know, but that was the first and last time I ever mentioned anything like that ever again. It's like, that didn't work.
Yeah.
And I wasn't even trying to be sexist about it. I was just like, hey, I want to go check this out.
I'd have been sexist about it. I want to see some fucking hot, almost naked chick cutting my hair.
Right.
I want her leaning over with her titties in my face. That's what I want.
Hail and Kill Caller, you're on the air.
Why couldn't you just say, Chippendales is over here, babe. You can go over there while I go over here.
I would have been glad to take her if she wanted to go see that, Tim. To be honest with you, it wouldn't bother me in the least.
I mean, I don't know. I didn't get it. What? We didn't get here by playing tiddlywinks. Everybody's had sex. Sex is awesome. That's why I got married in the first place.
Oh, really? Sex is awesome, so I got married. Said no one ever.
Yeah, said no one ever.
Right. Oh,
I think he forgot a knot.
Right.
That's why I'm not getting married.
Right.
Because sex is awesome.
Right. But anyway. All right. Well, cool. So you got a couple more coming up. Those were the only two that you're aware of at the time.
Yeah, for now, there's another one that's probably going to sneak in there in May. I'll announce it once it's locked in, but trying to do one a month, to the one in May for all of our Akron, Ohio area people, that's where that'll be.
Sure.
It's in the Akron area.
And what is the shelf life on promoting a project? What is the shelf life on that?
I'm thinking 6 months because it's not like a record where, it's out for 3 months and then it's boring. A book, you can legitimately sell a book 2 years later because people, it's not common media. It's kind of uncommon, as they call it, uncommon media, where it's not, it's not like a record that you hear on the radio or you hear, here and there. It's something that you can get turned on to, literally years later. So the campaign that we're working right now is 6 months.
Sure.
So
well, good. Well, you got till June, and that'll probably wrap it up for you then.
No, that'll wrap that up. But then the iTunes version will come out with the bonus material and blah blah blah.
The bonus material.
Exactly.
The bonus.
But by that time too, I should be well on my way to my other 2 books where I'll want to stop promoting all this shit anyway, and and finish up the next thing and have 6 months of 6 months of buffer between the books, and then I'll release the next book, the Korea book, which is going to be fucking crazy.
There you go.
I sent a sample because now Bandian loves my Korea stuff, and so I told Bob I was writing this Korea book, and he told me, he's like, send me some of it, send me anything that you've written. So I sent him half of one chapter that I've written, just with what it talks about is basically when I got to Korea, I was a scared kid, and I had a friend that was there 3 months ahead of me, and he took me downtown and got me a hooker, and fuck this hooker like I think it was like the second night I was in Korea, maybe the third. So it's the story of this. But Bob immediately, I sent it to him, and Bob was like, you are such a fucking brilliant writer. And what makes you good is that when you read anything, even if it's this kind of crazy shit, you feel like you're in the moment.
Well, isn't that what I said, that reading your book is like living a day of your life? Isn't that what I said? It's like it draws you in, like this is a day in my life. So at that time, and I said it's like a daily adventure,
right? and it really is. But this was like this is a real. I'll send it to you tomorrow so that you can get a feel for.
Well, the only thing that I can think of is Charlie Goes to Candy Mountain. It's an adventure.
It's an adventure.
So good.
This is like, oof. I've sent it to a couple of people now. Bob is one, and Drake was another one, and both of them are like, Jesus fucking Christ, this book is going to be good.
Now, did Drake come out to your reading?
No.
What happened to him?
He had band practice.
Oh, please.
That's what I said, but whatever.
He should have been there.
I agree. Should have been there.
What a dick.
And my mom should have been there, and my brother should have been there.
Right.
Whatever. My friend AJ, John's brother, he lives. I could have thrown a stone and hit him. He lived so close, and he wasn't there.
That sucks.
It is what it is, dude.
I know.
Believe me, now I know what gigs I got to go to.
Right.
Oops, did I not go to your wedding, John? Oops, sorry. I had something else going on. I had a chapter to write.
Right. Hail and kill, caller. You're on the air.
Okay, just real quick. But Bob now Bandy and freaking ruled, and you were awesome on Couch Metal, Chris. Hail and kill.
Thank you, Tim.
Tim,
your 15th check-in of the night.
Tim just needs to get a mic and just come on the show.
Yeah, really.
He just needs to get a mic.
Just do his own show.
Right. The Tim Show.
The Tim Show.
Right. All right. Well, it sounds like you had a good time. I enjoyed the podcast. It's over on the Spreaker. Just go over and listen to it if you haven't listened to it already.
Right.
You're putting us over the top of 250,000 downloads in 17 months.
Yeah, so please listen.
Right. So I'm going to go get a drink.
Yeah, I'm going to go and give back a drink.
And since you're the man of the hour, as it were, I'll let you pick something.
All right, then I am going to go with something off the new Steel Panther.
Okay.
What is the one called? Like Blowjob in an old folks' home or something?
These guys are just wrong.
They're just totally wrong. It's like it's called something like they're deep dicking in an old folks' home. Something
Right.
about an old folks' home.
Right. Let me see here. We got Glory Hole, Bukkake Tears, Gang Bang at the old folks' home.
That one, yeah.
Yeah, Gang Bang at the old folks'
Gang bang at the old folks' home.
You know, the funny thing is that when I met Ralph
Yeah.
way back in 1998.
I'm sorry, Michael Starr.
Oh, yeah, whatever. I know him as Ralph.
Me too.
But I've known Ralph for almost 16 years.
Okay.
And, he's actually helped me out with Nader. I got Nader hooked up with London, opening up for Steel Panther at the Key Club, and I flew out there for that.
I remember that.
And Ralph's a really good dude, and early on he kicked around L.A., and he was in bands with Mitch Perry, and obviously did the Van Halen tribute and was with LA Guns and did, the Metal Shop, Metal School, Steel Panther, so on and so forth. Very talented singer, really nice guy and stuff. He's one of these guys early on in his career, he's made no secret about it that he's like a recovering alcoholic, because early in his years he, really must have tied it on.
Right.
But this guy doesn't even drink or anything.
I know.
And when I met him, he was like a born again Christian.
Wow.
And then I read all these lyrics and listen to these songs. I was like, wow, Ralph, really.
Yeah. Well, he's gone a different direction.
Apparently. Well, he's tasted some, success doing Steel Panther and whatnot, and those guys are funny and they're very entertaining and, good for those guys. So I think we need to reach out to Ralph and get him back on the show.
All right, well, you need to reach out to him personally since we're on that publicist shit list right now.
Really? Is that the same guy with the same guy, huh? I'll call him. I actually have his phone number. I'll just
call
him.
Ralph directly.
I'll just call him. So anyway, so silly. All right, well, and again, that's one of those bonuses of not having to go through a publicist to reach out to certain people.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
But anyway, the new Steel Panther is called All You Can Eat.
Yeah.
And, here it is. It's brand new. You're hearing it first here on the Classic Metal Show. This is Gang Bang at the Old Folks Home exclusively here
on your Classic Metal Show.